Hey, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of actually getting clear and creating your perfect ideal client avatar. Now, if you don't fully understand why this is the most important step in creating your marketing campaign as a coach, course creator, expert, or authority, then you need to go back to the previous video that I recorded and make sure that you watch that and understand how very successful companies like Lululemon and even Tesla use this strategy to break into new and competitive markets. As a brand new coach or course creator, one of the biggest mistakes most people make is that they try to serve too many people and it waters down your messaging. And that's why you're struggling to create engagement, you're struggling to create with the right prospects, and you're struggling to enroll new clients. If you're new here on this channel, my name is Norbert Orlewicz, co-founder of digitalmentors.com. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment here on this video if you want to receive more training, high-level marketing training to help you grow your coaching and digital marketing business. Now, typically this process of identifying your ideal client has been a bit of a mystery. It's been a little bit complicated and usually quite time-consuming. We get a lot of questions around this topic. In this video, I want to simplify this process for you, and we're actually going to be leveraging AI and ChatGPT to make it even simpler. Now, we don't want to depend on AI. I really want to encourage you to make some of these decisions and choices yourself. But in order to build out the details of this ideal client, that's where AI is going to be very helpful. Now, the value of this document that we're going to be creating here together is that you'll be able to use this to give to AI at any time to then be able to create content, sales copy, and offers specific to this ideal client. It's another reason why it's so important to get clarity here and to document the details of your ideal client so that you can use it as you're creating future assets and future copy, especially if you're going to be using AI. All right, so let's dive in. I'm going to open up this document here. This is one of the documents that we have for our mentorship clients that we walk people through. I like using Google Docs because we get to share these documents, we get to review the documents for our clients, and you're able to edit this on the fly. And also it integrates really well with ChatGPT and other AI tools. So for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to use a hypothetical coach, and I'm going to choose a coach in the financial coaching industry. And now this can work for course creation, for authors, speakers, experts, coaches, professionals, trainers, virtually in any niche. Now, if you haven't yet identified your expertise or your specialty, I'll link to a previous video where we go over the importance of that. This is the way to quickly eliminate 90% of your competition and stand out in a crowded marketplace. So as you can see here in this example, I'm going to be in the financial coaching space, but I'm choosing a very specific niche. My specialty is going to be in budgeting, credit repair, and improving savings for entrepreneurs. I could choose from a variety of different specialties or expertise within the financial coaching space. We could focus just on budgeting. We could focus just on credit repair. We could focus specifically on investment. We could focus on cash flow investments. There's so many different areas that we could focus on. The challenge here, the key is for you to select your expertise, your specialty. What do you want to be known for? When you're just getting started, it is so critical that you identify your specialty so that you can become an expert and be known for that. Now, one of the ways to do that is also by identifying that ideal client. And you'll notice here that I've already identified that I want to work specifically with entrepreneurs. Now, this is the second most important element that we have to get specific on is who am I going to serve? In the financial coaching space, there's many different types of people that I could serve. I could choose to focus specifically on students. I could focus on professionals. I could focus on CEOs even. I could focus on brick and mortar business owners, baby boomers, or in this case, I'm going to focus specifically on entrepreneurs. Every single one of those different categories of ideal client has very different circumstances, different problems, different challenges, different obstacles, different desires, different goals. And so it's impossible to create messaging that will speak to all of those people. We need to get laser focused on who we're going to serve. Now, if you're not totally clear clear on exactly who you want to serve here, it's totally fine. Let's continue on with the process because the AI prompt here is really going to help you out. The other key thing that I've noted here on this document is that this is your initial ideal client avatar for your initial marketing campaigns. It doesn't mean that this is the only person you're ever going to serve. As you create results and cash flow and enroll clients with your marketing, when you're ready, you can then expand into other verticals and begin serving other additional clients as well, just like the examples that I shared with Lululemon and Tesla. All right, so let's dive into this ideal client prompt that we're going to use with ChatGPT. Now, I am using the paid version of the 4.0 version of ChatGPT. You can use Gemini, you can use another tool if you want. This is the one that I prefer to use right now. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of this prompt. You can join our AI trainings that we have that explains in more detail why I prompt the way that I do. But you'll notice here that I'm telling the AI to act as a high-paid Fortune 500 market research analyst. It's an expert in consumer psychology, marketing strategy, and it is going to create an ideal client persona. That is the job that we're giving it to do. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to identify our business. Just give it a few details about your specific business. If you've got the paid version, you can even give it a link to your website if you have an existing website, if that website correctly describes who you are and what you do. So I just very quickly told it that I am a financial coach specializing in budgeting, credit repair, savings, and investments for entrepreneurs. Now we have a couple of options here. There's 3 different options with these prompts here, depending on what we want to get out of this prompt. So if we already have some existing clients, we can tell the AI a little bit about our existing clients. Our typical ideal client has been, and then simply describe who your typical clients are. Now, again, you want to think about your typical clients, not the outliers, but overall, if you had to choose some similarities between your past clients, what are those? Describe the typical ideal client. Now, like I said, if you need more suggestions, if you really are kind of lost and are really unsure of who you should be focusing on, you can use this part of the prompt here and actually ask ChatGPT to give you top 3 suggestions. Now, notice the next part of this prompt. These should represent the top 3 ideal client personas who'd be the most valuable customers who resonate with the business values and who would not only choose to buy the product service, but would also most likely tell others about it as well. The more details that you share about your business, if you've got core values, if you've got a mission statement, any details that you have about your business, unique selling proposition, anything like that, make sure you give that information to AI first. Now, if you already know who your ideal client persona is, you've already chosen one specific ideal client, then you can skip that section and just go right down to this prompt, because all we're going to do is start getting all of these details now for that ideal client. We're going to start breaking down and really getting some clarity into the specific problems, misconceptions, beliefs, and all of that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do, because right now I know that I want to serve entrepreneurs, but maybe I don't know the exact entrepreneur that I want to focus on, I'm going to use this prompt and actually get some suggestions and just see what the AI gives me and see what I want to use from there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this prompt into ChatGPT. And I'll just make some simple edits here because I want it to give me the suggestions. So I'm not going to use this part. I can delete these notes, obviously, from here. And I don't have any typical ideal clients right now, so I'll remove that. And that should do it. Let's see what we get. All right, so we've got ideal client number 1, Sarah Thompson, age 45, owner of a boutique marketing agency. David Ramirez, age 50, he's a freelancer. And we've got Karen Lee, female, single, CEO of a tech startup. So looking at these 3, they're a little bit detailed for me. I'm not sure that I want to get that specific with these people, but there are some things that I can definitely pull out from here. I think demographics wise, I definitely want to have someone 35 and older. It doesn't matter for me if they are male or female. And I think I want to focus on perhaps married and established in their careers. So not somebody that just started a business or is in a startup, but someone that's already established. They're making money, they're in a career, but they just can't seem to get ahead financially. So I'll actually add that here in the short summary details, and you'll see what I'm going to do with this. So I know that there's somebody that wants to have money for investing but can't save enough. So I'm just getting inspiration from this. I'm actually not going to use any of these specific personas it's giving me because it's too specific, but this is giving me some inspiration to write out my own details. Again, you don't want to be fully dependent on AI here. You've got to use your own knowledge, your own intuition, your own expertise, knowing the kinds of marketing messages that you're going to want to create, the kinds of people that you're going to want to serve. So I know that there's a lot of entrepreneurs that they're financially literate, they're making money, but they're poor at managing their money. One of the things I want you to consider is that demographics are not very important in this case. We're going to be focused more on the psychographics because that's what's going to direct our messaging. For some of you, if you have a very specific niche or a very specific ideal client, let's say that you specifically want to work with, you coach women who are divorced over 45, then the demographics are going to be highly relevant. In this case here, in this scenario, I want to target entrepreneurs who share some of these qualities. And it really doesn't matter if they're 35, 55, single or married, or what kind of entrepreneur they are. It's more that they share these similar psychographics. They're able to make money, but they're poor at managing it. Okay, so now that I've got a few more details about this ideal client, I'm going to give this back to AI. So I'm going to say, okay, all right, so now that I've given a little bit more information, I'm going to tell it to give me a name and a brief summary. All right, there we go. That looks a lot better. So here we go. Now we've got Alex Morgan. And what I'm going to do is just copy this into my document here. So I just need the summary. I'm going to clear all of that up just so it's not messy. There we go. And it's Alex Morgan is going to be my ideal client. Now that we've got this started, now we can dig into the really powerful details here. This is the stuff that we're going to be using for our messaging, our social media content, our offers, our lead magnets, and all of that. So let's dig into the problems. And for each of these sections, I've given you a little bit of a prompt here. You can get more specific with these prompts depending on what you already know about your business, what you want to accomplish with your messaging, and who you want to speak to. So I'm just going to paste this prompt in here. We're going to go deeper. Suggest the 10 most pressing problems and pain points that my ideal client might be dealing with that motivate them to purchase one of my offers. These are the challenges he's most concerned about that really create emotional turmoil, frustration, overwhelm, etc. These are the problems I could potentially solve with my coaching or digital courses. All right, let's see what we get. Now, you should already know some of these problems. We've already listed them, like living paycheck to paycheck and then inability to save, high debt levels, lack of investment knowledge, poor budgeting skills. We might also say maybe they don't have the best credit rating at this point, or maybe they do, but they want to improve it. Poor budgeting skills is going to be a big one. Inadequate retirement planning for sure. Pressure to maintain lifestyle, unexpected expenses, and feeling paralyzed by financial information. So these are all really excellent. I'm going to go ahead and copy these and I'm going to paste them all in here. And of course, I'll just delete some of this superfluous text that's not necessary. If you want to get rid of these stars as well, just hit Command F or click to find in document. And then what you can do at the end is just identify the stars and replace them all with a space. And that'll just delete all of those. All right, so now that we've got the problems, we can move into obstacles. List out 10 of the biggest obstacles that my ideal client is facing that is preventing them from achieving the outcome they desire. So let's type that in, and now we're going to see the obstacles. And these are typically going to be similar to problems, okay? So that's totally fine, but we can use these specifically when we're creating content. Sometimes we want to create messaging specific to obstacles. Okay, the next is the outcome. Now we might want to narrow these outcomes down. Right now we're getting like 10 of each, and we probably don't want to focus on 10 different outcomes. So what I might say is, what are the 5 most important outcomes that my ideal client wants to accomplish that I and my business can help them accomplish, knowing what my business is, right? So here we go. Financial stability, debt elimination, effective savings plan, investment knowledge and growth, retirement preparedness. All right, so those are good outcomes. Now let's get to the bigger dreams and desires. And again, just have a look at this prompt and see if you want to modify this at all. So list out for me 10 of the biggest wants, dreams, and desires. Let's just narrow this down. Let's just say 5. of the biggest, and I would really want to focus on the dreams, because we already mentioned the outcomes. Let's talk about the big dreams and desires that my ideal client might have, for their life. Financial freedom is the big one. Early retirement, perhaps. Travel and exploration. Home ownership. Legacy building. Perfect. Yeah, those would be the key. Common mistakes. This is a key one for a lot of great social media content. So what are the big mistakes that they're making in relation to their desired outcomes and goals? Ignoring budgeting, minimal debt repayment, impulse spending, lack of emergency funds, right? So avoiding investments, inconsistent financial planning, failing to address financial behaviors, all right? So you can see each one of these are really good mistakes. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in. And then later on, we can take these mistakes and we can expand them if we're doing specific social media content, short form or long form around mistakes. We can take this list of 10 as a starting point and then expand and get more detailed and specific with our content. Misconceptions. This is a really powerful one as well. Something that you want to address in your messaging are common misconceptions or false beliefs. We do that separately. So list out for me 10 of the biggest misconceptions that my ideal client might have in relation to their desired outcomes and goals, and their current problems and challenges, and my business and the programs that I offer. So let's just have a list of the 10 biggest misconceptions. I can figure it out on my own. That's a good one. Financial coaching is too expensive. Debt is always bad. Investing is too risky. So you can see already some great ideas. I need a high income to save. Retirement planning can wait. I'll never get out of debt. Okay, so you can see these are all going to be great inspiration for content down the road and for copy that we're going to be writing down the road as well. All right, and look how quick I'm doing this with AI, right? I'm still going to be adding my own ideas and thoughts into this. I definitely can, but this is pretty much covering all that I need to do, and it's doing a really great job. Hobbies, interests, and passions, key beliefs, false beliefs, fears, purchase motivation, objections, key purchase objections, and then also previous solutions that they've tried. That's always an interesting one too, because that'll be a great source of potential content as well. Let's just see what it says here for this one. Yeah, perfect. Do-it-yourself budgeting apps, debt consolidation loans, financial self-help books, online financial courses, cutting up credit cards. Okay, you've tried these things in the past and it hasn't worked. So now you know what you've got to compete with, right? You've got your solution better compete with one of these. It better be a better solution than these other solutions that they've tried in the past and failed with, okay? So I'm gonna leave you here. This should give you, working with through this document, will give you all of the key critical elements about your ideal client that we're later on gonna be able to use beautifully when we're creating our offers, creating our lead magnets, our sales copy, our presentations, and our social media content. All right, I would love to get your feedback after using this process and using this document to clarify your ideal client. Love for you to go ahead and access that document and actually go through this process with your own ideal client and leave your questions down below. Questions, comments, discoveries, realizations. How did you enjoy this process and how much clarity did you gain in your ideal client? All right, I hope you got a ton of value out of this training. Make sure to hit subscribe. We'd love for you to like, share, and comment on this video. Help us get this out to more people. And if you haven't yet attended some of our live trainings, look for the links down below for our live workshops that we do on a regular basis. And make sure you attend. We'd love to see you there. See you in the next video.